If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
In Sarasota, blue skies, winning baseball. Andy MacPhail, the Orioles Vice President of Baseball Operations, joins us. And you've done a lot of these. I haven't. But it really feels like something special is going on. I know it's early. We don't want to get too excited, and it's only 2 games. But from your standpoint, being in the game for a long time, does it really feel like something special is happening here? Buck in his first camp, and a lot of the players saying all the right things?
Yeah, so far it's been a remarkably positive camp, and I think a lot of that is possible based on the last 57 games of last year, where we played to about a 600 winning percentage with the second best record in the league over a sustained period of time, about a third of the season. And of those 57 games, 45 of them were against opponents that had 500 record or better. So I think that's the genesis, a lot of the enthusiasm, and then some of the additions we were able to make in the offseason sort of built on that. And certainly the first 2 games have been a continuation of what we were able to enjoy the last third of last season.
Was that all part of it, Andy, the move to bring Buck in? Obviously you had a little bridge there with Juan, and he was 50-some-odd games. Just knowing that, hey, maybe the best thing is get somebody in here as quickly as we can, the right guy, to see what we have over the last quarter of the season or so, just so we can go in the next year without it all being sort of brand spanking new.
Yeah, I mean, the way we sized it up, we felt like it was probably going to be a sizable amount of changes at the managerial level from 2010 to 2011, and indeed you had 40% turnover. You had 12 changes, and we felt that we didn't want to be last in line, that moving more quickly would benefit us in our circumstances. So we made our change relatively early on, and I don't think any of us felt it was appropriate to be talking to other managerial candidates while you had one, and that's why you went the interim route. You gave one an opportunity to audition for the job, and then you're free to talk to whomever. But we were pretty anxious to get in the front of the line, of which we anticipated there would be several changes based on retirements and just the normal turnover that you had from year to year. And we were looking for someone that had credibility, had a great desire, and a reputation for getting his team as prepared as possible. And Buck really fit all of those definitions to a T. So we were anxious to move. As far as him coming in season, I felt it was important that he get the opportunity to help us in our off-season quest in terms of what we would do, and I think he was best situated to do that if he was going to spend a third of the year with the team, be able to look him in the eye and help us make whatever changes we needed to make and help him make some judgments. I was not expecting that we were going to go from a 300-some winning percentage to a 600 winning percentage just by him walking through the door. That was an added plus. The real effort was to try to get him to get some familiarity with what would be his team going forward.
A lot of the players over the last day or two that I've talked to have talked about accountability. When I've asked, what was it about last August and September, they've all used that word accountability. And I have to believe at some point, though, Dave Tremblay and Juan Samuel asked them to be accountable, too. It's not like they didn't say, guys, we need to go out and win baseball games. As you saw it, what was the one thing that Buck was able to get out of them that maybe the other guys couldn't?
I think if you look at it as objectively as you can, the thing that made the greatest strides was our starting pitching. I mean, our young starters had an ERA of just about a little over 5.5 prior to August 2nd. And Buck comes on August 2nd, and they have an ERA just over 3, the second best in the American League. I'm not exactly sure why that happened, but I think that is the one of the biggest factors. In addition, our bullpen, we had a healthy Gonzalez, Johnson, and Uehara at the end. We got more of Roberts back, PA came back, so we got a little healthier, but probably of all those things still, all of this happened on August 3rd when Buck managed his first game, and whatever metamorphosis took place among our players, I'm not sure, but you're right, they by and large, they gave Dave and Juan good efforts as well, and they certainly were, wanting the players to be accountable as well. It's just sometimes that's the way our game works.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.